soldiers bombing one another. So, let's go ahead and read the next part. Winston stopped writing, partly because he was suffering from cramp. He did not know what had made him pour out this stream of rubbish. But the curious thing was that while he was doing so, a totally different memory had clarified itself in his mind, to the point where he almost felt equal to writing it down. It was, he now realized, because of this other incident, that he had suddenly decided to come home and begin the diary today. So what is that saying, John?
Like now that like what he has like gone through like every day, it like reminds him of like war, like everything's just like
Yes, so he has this memory of war in his head. He says that this memory in his head does what?
Makes him remember what he was trying to write in the first place, and then he started becoming, a little creative or whatever.
Yes. So it's obviously some memory that's in his head that he's aware of but unaware of. So like a subconscious thought that's in his head that has inspired him to write. So what way is he writing? Is this like clear? Like how is he writing?
It was all over the place, but it made sense.
Okay. So he's not very confident. Good job at acknowledging that, DeCarso. Why is that important to know that he's not very confident?
I said the opposite.
Oh, that he is confident?
Yeah.
Okay, so what makes you think that he's confident in writing this?
Well, if he remembers all that stuff, he's gonna feel better about writing.
Why?
It's all coming back.
Okay. Well, what does he say about when it all comes back?
He remembers what he was supposed to write.
Okay. But think about after the fact that it's rubbish. What does that mean? Although all his memories
He
are
thinks
coming back.
it's trash.
No. Okay, not necessarily that it's trash, but when you have, okay, so think about you've been drinking water all day. You haven't been able to go to the restroom. You finally go to the restroom, what's gonna happen? It's gonna be a light, it's gonna come out like how? Yes. So what does that say about his mind? The fact that this is rubbish and it's all coming out.
He was holding stuff in, and then
Yes,
it just
Keon.
came out the wrong way.
Yes. So not necessarily the wrong way, it's just coming out. So the fact that it's been in his mind completely and he's finally releasing it, what category of emotion can we put that under?
Doubtful.
We can put it under stress. How can it be stressful, Noriega?
Because he holding all of it in, and then just going out.
And when you hold stuff in, what happens?
It's like this. Like the more you hold it in, yeah.
Okay, so the more angry you get, the more stressed out, the more intense your emotions become. When you hold it in, you don't let it out. So on what page is that on? We realize that it's rubbish. Page 9. So that's what we're going to refer to. Page 9. Okay, but going back to when we talked about doing something that you are afraid to do or haven't been able to do, finally doing it. What category can you put in the fact that he's finally releasing these things? Which one did you say? Relief? Well, actually, I'm looking at one of our categories that I already done. Remember, when you're doing something that you haven't been able to or you're not allowed to, and you do it anyway. Yes, good job, Noriega. So how could that be brave?
Because he was trying something new.
Okay, so he was trying something new, but what else? Say that again, Carson. So he's pushing forward what he wants to do, even though what?
He's not allowed to.
He's not allowed to. Yes. What is going?
Yo. Thinking about it. I know everything.
All right. is writing. You get my voice up once, twice, 3 times. Okay, remember, the author is using certain words, and he's giving us certain evidence. Evidence is what?
That's the.
Okay, so the clues, the text, giving us certain evidence to allow us to understand how Winston feels. So, now that we have read his letter, this is his first diary entry, we're going to go ahead and move on to where it says, it happened that morning of the ministry. So, Joanne, can you read first, please? And make sure you read a little loud, because it's a party going on.
It happened that morning at the ministry. If anything so rebellious could be said to happen. It was nearly 1100, and in the records department where Winston worked, they were dragging the tray out of uniform and grouping it in the center of the house, opposite the big screen, in the preparation for the 2 minutes ministry training. Winston was just taking his place in one of the middle rows, and 2 people whom he knew by sight, but he had never spoken to, came unexpectedly into the room. One of them was a girl whom he often passed in the corridor. He did not know her name, but he knew that she worked in the fixing department. Presumably, since he had sometimes seen her with oily hands and carrying spanner, she had some mechanical job on one of the novel writing computers. She was a bold-looking girl of about 27, with thick dark hair, a freckled face, and slick, athletic movements. A narrow scarlet sash and belt of the junior anti-sag sleeve was wound several times around the waist of her overalls, just tightly enough to prevent the shapelessness of her hips. Winston had disliked her from the very first moment. He knew the reason. It was because of the atmosphere of the hockey field and the fact and the cold bath and the green place. In general, clean-mindedness, which he managed to carry about with him. He disliked nearly all women, especially the young and pretty ones. It was always the women who of all the young women who were the most vigorous adherents of the party. The followers of Logan, the amateurs, eyes and noses out of the unorthodoxy, but this particular girl gave him noses out of, him the impression of being more dangerous than most. Once they passed in the corridor, she gave him a quick sidelong glance, which seemed to fuse like into him, and for a moment had filled him with dark terror. The idea had even crossed his mind that he might be an agent of the thought police. That, it was true, was very unlikely. Still, he continued to feel the peculiar uneasiness which had been mixed up in it as well heartedly whenever he was anyone near.
So, initially, what week did they say they have here at Extra One? Hate Week, remember? It was early on in the story, so. But Hate Week, that's what they say that they have here. What is going on right now with this woman that is coming to Winston's office? Okay. What's going on with Winston? Like, what's going on with the lady that's coming in his office? What emotions does he have when she comes in his office? Okay, so he doesn't like her. What evidence do we have that says that he doesn't like her?
He didn't like your
Okay, so Janie is pointing out on what page? Page 10, that he dislikes all women. Why does Winston say he dislikes all women? Okay, so what does that mean? that they are the most bigoted of the party. So what's a bigot?
They do people that, they always arguing and stuff with her.
Okay, they can always argue, but what do they argue about? Like, what is their mind frame and their values? A bigot.
Oh,
Okay, turn and talk with your neighbor. What do you all think a bigot is? Think about how it's been used in recent times when describing Donald Trump. So turn and talk to your neighbor. You should turn and talk. And Ty is turning and talking. Janie and Keon are turning and talking. So what have y'all heard about bigotry? Or being a bigot?
that's not just the argument.
Okay, so the person is negative, a bigot is negative, and they argue a lot. So keep that in mind. Okay, what y'all just think a bigot is? What do y'all think a bigot is? Think about how people have
I would say.
Okay. Keep my voice like once, twice, 3 times. Okay, so the official term for a bigot, well, the official definition is a person who is intolerant toward those holding different opinions. So this is a person who doesn't like others to have different opinions than them. So this is if I might like the color red, Keon likes the color blue, and whenever he wears blue, I'm like, I don't like the color, you shouldn't wear that. And he's like, I love this color, and I'm just intolerant to accepting the fact that different people might like different colors. So, set in your own mind frame. Okay, so now I want us to think about this because this brings up a very distinct aspect to Winston. The fact that he goes against society's beliefs with writing in his journal, even though he's not supposed to, and now he really despises a certain group of people because they're bigots or people who are intolerant towards other people's opinions. What emotions does that say he may have? So, yeah, they are. Michael Jackson. Okay. So what emotions would they say that he has? Just as far as going against like society, not liking people who are not open to other people's opinions. Rebellious, thank you. That's what I'm looking for. Rebellious. So he may have feelings of or emotions of rebellion. Okay, so referring back to our page 6 where he goes and buys the book. Let's just make sure we give those key details. How does that signify rebellion?
Because he bought the book, he wasn't supposed to.
Okay, so let's say breaking the rules with buying the book.
Yeah.
Okay, and what about with this woman? How does that signify rebellion against bigots?
Because you don't like people that's not open to other people's opinions.
Okay, so what would they say about him if he doesn't like people who are not open to other people's opinions? What would they say about his own self?
That means that he's open to other people's opinions.
Yes. So sometimes we have to restate things. It may seem like, why are we saying this? We just said it. But being able to really communicate why you're saying it is really important. So that's why I had to say it again. Okay, so how would they contradict the setting of where they live? The carcel.
I'm sorry.
So how would this go against where he lives? He lives in Ashford Warren, remember?